Good morning. It is Thursday, July 18th, and today is the memorial of St. Camillus of Lellis. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. Coming up, Scott Weeman discusses the 12-step recovery program. But first, your local weather and this news. We begin this morning on the campaign trail. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Southwest Michigan yesterday, giving her first on-camera comments about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump.
As we all know, it was a heinous, horrible, and cowardly act.
At a rally in Portage at the Air Zoo, Harris said she and her husband were praying for Trump and his family after the shooting last Saturday in Pennsylvania. She added her heart goes out to the family of the retired firefighter who was killed at the rally. Harris called for unity in the 2024 campaign and said violence is never acceptable. Grand Rapids Police spent part of Wednesday doing active shooter response training at Cornerstone University. Captain Dave Siver says the training was small team tactics with groups of 4 to 6 officers to help reinforce proper and contingency planning.
It's vitally important, obviously, to stay up with the current trends and, the new tactics that some of the bad actors are using.
He says it was made even more vital with the rally coming Saturday at Van Andel Arena with former President Trump and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance a week after someone shot at Trump at an outdoor rally. Siver says while the Secret Service is the main security force at the event, they will also be there to keep everyone safe. In other news, residents of Northville are suing the city and the developer of the project to turn the former Northville Downs into a multi-purpose site. Cindy Brazen says they are not opposed to the redevelopment of the former horse racing track, but they are upset about the contaminated dust that has covered the area. Northville Downs Neighbors for Safe Development have sued to get the city to take more measures to minimize the environmental impacts of the work. Due to strong storms last week, numerous beaches across the state have been closed because of high E. coli bacteria levels. In southeast Michigan, some of the affected beaches include Belle Isle Beach, Sylvan Lake, and Lake St. Clair Shores Memorial Park. In mid-Michigan, East Tawas City Park on Tawas Bay and Singing Bridge Beach in Aranac were also closed. Officials say the beaches will reopen when the bacteria levels drop. And Catholics from around Michigan and around the U.S. headed to Indianapolis yesterday to attend the first National Eucharistic Congress since 1941. The group from the Diocese of Saginaw included lay men and women from more than 14 parishes, nearly a dozen religious sisters, clergy, seminarians, and Bishop Robert Gruss. The Congress features many Catholic speakers, including some from our neck of the woods. Pope Francis has granted a plenary indulgence to those participating in events for the National Eucharistic Revival. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. Now this.
Ave Maria in the afternoon, premiering July 15th with Dr. Marcus Peter. An engaging take on the church, culture, and current events.
Hi, I'm Marcus Peter. Tune in weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern as we examine the world around us, past and present, through the lens of faith and from the heart of the church. So join me in conversation with our guests and call in with your questions.
Tune in starting Monday, July 15th as we navigate the culture on this EWTN radio station.
We're going to have a pretty nice day in Detroit. We'll have mostly sunny skies and highs comfortably around 75. Tonight will be mostly clear and lows will dip to 58. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high around 81, and that sets up a trend for the weekend. Saturday will be sunny with highs in the mid-80s, and Sunday will be partly sunny with highs in the mid-80s. We're going to have a pretty nice day in Saginaw. We'll have mostly sunny skies and highs comfortably around 76. Tonight will be mostly clear with lows around 54. Tomorrow will be sunny with temperatures around 80. That sets up a trend for the weekend. Saturday will be sunny with highs in the lower 80s, and Sunday will be mostly sunny with highs in the lower 80s. Scott Weeman helped found Catholics in Recovery, which incorporates Catholic teaching into the 12-step recovery program. He joined Vanessa Den Hagarmo on Epiphany to talk about the history of the program.
I found sobriety about 12 years ago or so, and that was helpful in forming what is now Catholic in Recovery. But back 89 years ago, in 1935, Alcoholics Anonymous was founded, and its really inception began with one alcoholic who was attempting to stay sober, sharing experience, strength, and hope with another. And those two co-founders really developed the 12 steps with the help of others who joined the movement along the way. And some of those had a lot of great Catholic influence. A gentleman by the name of Father Ed Dowling was a Jesuit priest from St. Louis who visited co-founder of AA's Bill Wilson's apartment a few years after the development of Alcoholics Anonymous, and knocked on his apartment door, said, your 12 steps are very similar to the spiritual principles and exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola. And that began a friendship and a really, kind of Father Ed Dowling, who was not a recovering alcoholic himself, although did understand the application of the 12 steps to other addictions, compulsions, and unhealthy attachments, was really instrumental in the spiritual growth and development of 12-step recovery as we know it today. Similarly, a woman named Sister Ignatia was active in a hospital in Canton, Ohio, where AA was founded, and she too worked with hundreds and thousands of recovering alcoholics back in the early days in the 1930s and 40s. And this was a time whereas we understood alcoholism in the early 1900s as really a chronic disease, or we maybe didn't even think of it as a disease, but a chronic issue that would just be handicapping someone for their entire life. It was very rare that someone would find freedom from the grip of alcoholism, and we really have learned a lot about it over the last 90 or so years. But yes, the 12 steps, which overlap and really run parallel to our tradition, sacramental life.
Epiphany is weekdays at noon here on Ave Maria Radio. I'm Matthew Handley, and that's going to do it for this edition of Michigan Mornings. You can stay connected with me on X. I'm at Radio Handley. Lord willing, I will talk to you again tomorrow. And until then, goodbye.